Reports of election irregularities. The election office in San Patricio County said to be addressing concerns tonight after hearing that some residents have been receiving multiple applications for mail-in ballots at their homes. And those in charge of the election in San Pat County say they only send out a ballot application to a person if they request it. So what gives? Where are all the extra applications coming from? It is our top story tonight. Our Bill Churchwell explains what is going on and has a few other things that voters should know before Election Day.
It's something that has been creating a little confusion among some residents in San Pat County, opening their mailbox to find an application for mail-in voting, and then a few days after filling it out and sending it in, finding yet another application in the mailbox.
They're confused because there could be up to 4 or 5 that they're receiving in the mail, and they sign them, and so when we get them, they're just a duplicate.
Pam Hill is the elections administrator for San Pat County. She tells 3 News that her office will only send out an application if a person requests one. She says the additional mailers are coming from other groups, private parties, and candidates. Hill says you only need to fill out one.
It doesn't matter how many times they apply for it, they're still just going to get one ballot.
The same holds true for other South Texas counties, including Nueces. The deadline to turn in an application for ballot by mail is October 23rd. Remember, to be eligible, you must be 65 years or older, sick or disabled, out of the county on Election Day and during the period for early voting, or be confined in jail but otherwise eligible. Meanwhile, the Better Business Bureau is asking voters to be alert and avoid scammers this election season. Scammers will often pretend to survey you about which candidate you are planning to vote for, and in the process, ask for your personal information. They might even use real recorded audio of a candidate's voice to solicit you. The BBB's advice? Avoid unknown callers. If they ask you to vote over the phone, hang up. When it comes to donating to your candidate's campaign, do it directly. Visit the candidate's official website to search for donation options. Also, never give your social security number or credit card information out over the phone. Bill Churchwell, 3 News.
All good advice. Well, today Governor Gov Abbott issued a proclamation ordering all county clerks in Texas to designate a single drop-off location in each county for mail-in ballots that people choose to hand deliver. The proclamation, which goes into effect tomorrow, modifies part of a previous order that added 6 days of early voting in Texas because of the COVID pandemic. Fellow Republicans are currently challenging that extension in court, adding at least some doubt as to whether votes cast during that 6-day period, October 13th to the 19th, would even be counted. A ruling on that is expected soon. Meantime, Democrats are accusing Abbott of putting this new policy in place to try to suppress Democrat votes. But here's a list of where you can drop off that mail-in ballot in South Texas. In Nueces County, they can be dropped off on the 2nd floor of the county courthouse on Leopard Street. You must have a valid ID, and you can only drop off your own ballot, not someone else's. In Clayburgh County, ballots can be dropped off at the Clayburgh County Courthouse, the 1st floor. And in San Patricio County, again, ballots can be dropped off at the main office of the San Pat Elections Department. That's on West Market Street in Sinton. For the full list of locations, drop-off spots, just visit our website, KIIITV.com. County clerks and elections officials across the state do have at least one reason to breathe a sigh of relief tonight. A federal appeals court yesterday upheld a 2017 state law that ends the practice of straight ticket voting for this year's general election. It means Texas voters will not be able to choose all the Democrats or all the Republicans on the ballot just by checking one square on that ballot.